Welcome to yet another Pecha Kucha evening by Kohler Bold Art, featuring 5 leading architects and designers. It's been a 6-year run with Kohler hosting Pecha Kucha nights in 8 cities annually across the country, combining futuristic thinking and craftsmanship with a 145-year legacy. So in keeping with Kohler's affinity for the arts, tonight we celebrate design and host a dialogue between you and 5 skill masters. Our theme is Wanderlust, creativity inspired by travel, and I know that all of you are really curious to know what our panel thinks. As usual, we use Pecha Kucha's simple concept for an informal and fun sharing of creative ideas, thoughts, holiday pictures, works, anything really, in the 2020 format. Each of our featured speaker has 6 minutes and 40 seconds to tell their story, and they do this in one flow with no stops. So it's time to invite the formidable 5 on the Kolkata panel to tell us what they think, and we begin with Aditya Goswami.
Design is an ongoing process where we turn our language that we learnt in our school of design, mix it with the kind of experiences that we undergo every day, and translate that onto our practice. So that is what design is. I think there's a paradigm shift towards a definition of design, principally because we are a highly populated country and a lot of definitions which are true for the entire wide world. So the way the entire mass is, you have to align your design towards how people receive it and how well people receive it. Inspiration is a constant journey where we do not even realize how our experiences shape us every day. You could just walk out and just walk into the next coffee shop and suddenly be amazed with the way a person is using that space during this time of the day. Pinpointing at a particular influence is difficult. Travel is an architect's best teacher. Creativity through travel cannot be pinpointed at one single edifice or one single piece of work that we do. It's basically a mixed bag of experiences. So in a nutshell, travel is an ongoing journey of life, be it a short time travel or maybe the journey from home to office every day. I think Pecha Kucha is a fantastic podium for the young and the old, for the newcomer and the experienced to interact with on a very different pitch of 2020. The format itself is so exciting that you really, when you start listening to someone in a Pecha Kucha presentation, you know that you'll have to hold your attention for that amount of time. The points that are made on a Pecha Kucha platform are impactful. They are very to the point, and I think it's a visual treat. So let me start by saying that life is a journey and journey is learning. Travel is often more fascinating than arriving at the destination. I shall not talk about any specific edifice of architecture, but about the learning that journey imparts to all of us. Having been born and brought up in the city of joy, where I could feel the plains below my feet and 6 seasons annually, and heavy precipitation, it was difficult to comprehend that a different world even existed had I not traveled. I've seen devotion drive people to travel across the globe. The Ganga Aarti on the ghats of Rishikesh is a surreal experience when all you see are specks of fire along the riverfront, all moving in unison to the chant of the shlokas. Lastly, travel does not necessarily mean going far and wide. Borrowing from Tagore, sometimes we miss seeing beauty in our own backyard. And I quote, "Dekha hoy nai chokhu meliya, ghor theke dui pa pheliya, ekti dhaner shisher upore, ekti shishir bindu." Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Up next is Kamal Periwal.
It varies from project to project. You have to justify the requirement of the project and then the specific experience that has to be. For a architectural project, I always go for possibly simple so that it will be a lifetime kind of or it will be a long-term kind of development. Of course, in a mall and all, we work little more, but that may be replaceable after a certain time. Has nothing to do with the structure. Otherwise, in other buildings like office, residential and all, I want to go simple and proportionate. Inspiration, of course, anything which looks good inspires me a lot. Something beautiful thing inspires me a lot. And I don't want to make more gaudy kind of thing. Extra work I don't want to do. I want to do absolutely simple and proportionate work. If you're doing the proportionate work, if you're understanding the requirement, and if you develop the thing in a right proportion, that is what I want to do, and I'm doing that. I've visited many places in the world, and everywhere I got something to take. Either the skill, either the ambience, either the something is always influencing me, and that is where I get inspiration to design my projects. It's good initiative by Kohler, and this is really asking the experience or the architect who is already doing so many works. They can give something back to the society by their thoughts.
Good evening, everyone. When we want to think something out of the box, we often take a break like walking, exercising, or taking a short nap. Things are directly connected to travel. Travel allows you to physically get away from the problem and view it in a different perspective. My frequent travel to Mumbai generated in me their never-dying spirit. I was inspired by the city, culture, and always accepting new things and not taking no for an answer. Their values were a great boost in my career. Travel holds an important place in changing my thought process and enhancing my creative abilities. My various inspirations from traveling across the globe took direct shape in form of ideas, and ideas which turned into architecture. Designing a housing complex which was on the lakeside, I decided to place every unit facing the water body, looking into infinity. I believe human beings feel most calm when they experience vastness, which in my case was the water body. Remembering the past with its rich architectural heritage, I designed a boutique hotel in Goa, highlighting the Vedic age theme. Upon visiting various historical sites, I was motivated to revive the glorious past. Travel has always been a part of me, and I am determined to keep on traveling for the past of my life. Thank you.
Please welcome Monica Khosla-Bhargav speaking on Wanderlust and creativity.
Well, design is like coming together of many elements which are of use in our daily life. And when they come together to give us the perfect function, the perfect form, and also the, not just comfort and convenience of space or the eye, but also the comfort and convenience of the mind. So when all these things come together, I think and they come together well, that's when you have a good design. The whole concept of design becomes guided by what is there in, say, Europe or America. So I think that we need to keep our sensibilities, and we have some fabulous examples of Indian architecture, and we should get inspiration from those rather than just keep looking at the West. So it's just the way we need to see, if we put our focus on the way we use our local materials, use our creativity, we understand that actually our architecture is quite beautiful. So I always got inspired by nature, by the patterns in nature, and I used them subconsciously in design for a long time. So my design philosophy is always believes in some minimalism. Creativity inspired, it's 100%. Why? Because you see, if you are confined to just one place, your learning can be through travel only within yourself. And to find that travel within yourself also, you need to travel a lot. And it's only that when you see this world around you, can you start finding creativity from within you. So I think it's a really great theme. I think Kohler is doing a fabulous job. To create a platform like Pecha Kucha, it means where people are talking to each other, but the moment you start interacting, that's the time, that's the kind of climate you create for totally new ideas. And that's how, we think that this is really going to be a big help for our country, so that we can see a future of India now where it's emerging on its own.
This picture is from a flight to Seychelles. My mind was reliving those childhood moments when I first went to the sea, Gopalpur. That's when I first saw what the horizon looks like and realized that infinity was not just my math textbook symbol. Over years, books, art lessons, I understood that space is limitless. It starts from us and extends into the nothingness beyond. And what we were experiencing as space all along were just the walls and boundaries confining this space. I chose to design those walls and boundaries and became an architect. An architect with a hobby, sculpting with flowers. I see a flower in my structure and a structure to the flower. Places, cultures, experiences grow on you as you travel, and you're never the same person when you get back home. You're wiser to the fact that everything you were seeking was within you, around you. And Wanderlust gives you that wider perspective, deeper connection, and reinforces that there is no place like home. Thank you.